I didn't think the pain from the shingles rash would affect simple, everyday tasks like bathing, getting dressed, or even walking around. I was wrong. Though not everyone at risk will develop it, 99% of people over the age of 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time. I developed it, and the blistering rash lasted for weeks. Don't learn the hard way, like I did. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today. Sponsored by GSK.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The President of the United States gave out the club trophy when the World Club Championships were here at Giants Stadium, same venue. Yeah. Will the President be giving out the World Cup?
We will be together with the President, enjoying the final and handing the trophy to the winner, of course, together.
Together you'll be doing it?
Of course, we are together all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump apparently is going to be at the conclusion of the World Cup, whenever that is. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, will be there, and he, along with FIFA President Gianni Infantino, will be handing out the trophies. By the way, I really display my ignorance. It's on parade sometimes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tuesday edition of Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. Do any one of you, TJ or Carlos, what does FIFA stand for exactly? I mean, I keep seeing FIFA president, FIFA, and it doesn't say like the soccer association. It's not like whatever.
You want to guess or look it up?
I want to hear your guess, actually. FIFA. FIFA. It sounds like FAFO, but it's it sounds like that's what it could be.
It's not in English.
It's not in English. No. You mean what is it in?
Spanish.
It's in Spanish. So what does FIFA mean in Spanish? FIFA.
Federación Internacional de Fútbol Association.
Wait a minute. In Spanish, it means Federation Internacional of Football Association.
That's what it says online.
How come it doesn't say soccer? Because that's football. What it is. Soccer.
We didn't invent it.
We didn't invent it?
So it doesn't get the American name.
We didn't invent it, so it doesn't have an American name. Why did that stop us? Anyway, never mind. Welcome, folks, to the Tuesday edition. So you're telling me that we don't have that Chris Brown song "Beat Her Down" anywhere in the library? Is that what you're saying to me, Carlos? That's do not have cool. "Beat Her." What do you mean it's not cool? I'm just asking if we have Chris Brown. You keep telling me we have no Chris Brown in the music library at all. And I just wanted to know if we have "Beat Her Down" by Chris Brown in the music library, or are you just not, are you saying it because you don't like him and therefore it's not in the library?
I only have "No Air" by Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown.
Well, fine, we'll play it for the Chris Brown reference. He doesn't like Chris Brown, folks. And so I have to do, anyway, I have sad news, very sad news, and I just need to stop joking for a minute. And please indulge me, folks, those of you in New York and other places where you don't know the person that I would like to speak about for a few minutes. Can you play that news report that I just sent you? A very dear friend of mine passed away, and I just want to take a minute to acknowledge.
And thank you for joining us for Red Clay Rundown. I am Russ Spencer. Stephen Lawson and Theron Johnson are here to talk politics tonight, but we begin on a very sad note tonight. Martha Zoller has died. She was a longtime Georgia radio host, a political commentator, and panelist on the Georgia Gang, and here with us on Red Clay Rundown on occasion. In fact, she was scheduled to be on the program tonight. Martha announced last week that she was leaving her daily talk show on Access North Georgia in Gainesville following what she called a stress-related heart attack earlier this year in February. Her family says she died unexpectedly earlier today. This afternoon, Georgia House Speaker John Burns paid tribute to Martha on the House floor.
She was always direct. She was always looking for a good story, but she was looking for the truth, and she was also always a kind interviewer, straightforward, someone you could trust on and off the record.
His last appearance on the Georgia Gang was just 8 days ago. So let's bring in Theron and Stephen. I know you two are as shocked as I am by this news. She was looking forward to spending more time with her family and easing things up, and didn't get a chance to enjoy the retirement that she was looking forward to. Theron,
I wish you could hear this
she
whole
sat next to you
folks,
on the
but it
Georgia
would
Gang
take too
desk
long.
for years.
And she had the praise for Martha was incredible from people that agreed with her, from those that disagreed with her profoundly. But one of the things that kept coming up over and over again, that she was a beautiful person in search of the truth. She was what I think one of her detractors said, she was a true conservative, meaning she wanted, and I thought it was such a compliment, she just wanted the best for everybody, and she treated everybody well. And she was a dear friend. And I last saw Martha in person at the Republican National Convention. We were both out there covering it. And this comes as a shock, not just for her family. She was 67. She's a young woman. And she's a big fan of Rush. I met her through my association with Rush. And she repeatedly named to the Heavy 100 Talkers, one of the most influential talk radio hosts in the world. She won the Georgia Association of Broadcasters Gabby Award for the best locally produced talk show. She was just an amazing human being. Not only knowledgeable on the issues, but carried her faith, which informed her being, which is one of the reasons why she is being so widely praised from both sides of the aisle. Even Ossoff, who was running, as you know, as a Democrat, had praise for her today and spoke well of her. She's being just honored by so many people, and so I just wanted to take a moment and mention the sad passing of my friend and great broadcaster Martha Zoller today. By the way, as we move to other things here, I was struck by an endorsement that President Trump made. Because I hear, and I have a lot of liberal friends, and yeah, we're still friends, but they are enraged and have been enraged, especially after the ape thing. All-consuming that Trump is a racist, that the Republican Party is racist. By the way, Supreme Court made some rulings today, one of which is, to me, dumbfounding. And it kind of regards race, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But I was struck because this is the stuff I hear all the time, and of course they always look, how can you defend, how can you down, and blah. And it just struck me today as I read an article. I'm saying, I don't hear any of these voices that are always so opposed to Donald Trump and that are always saying these horrible things about him when it comes to race. When you get these headlines, Trump endorses John James in Michigan governor race as GOP rival exits the primary. A few things about this. Representative John James has been endorsed by Donald Trump. He would endorse yesterday. He said, Donald Trump did, "It is my great honor to endorse America First Congressman John James, who's running to become the next governor of the beautiful state of Michigan. John James has my complete and total endorsement to be the next governor of Michigan. In caps, he will not let you down." John James thanked Donald Trump. He said Donald Trump is the greatest president of his lifetime. Now, after the endorsement came, Minority Leader of Michigan State, Eric Nesbitt, dropped out of the race and endorsed James immediately. No funny business, no haggling. Trump made his pick, okay, I'm out and I'm endorsing Trump's candidate, which is amazing. Another guy who is also running on the Republican side, a businessman by the name of Perry Johnson, suggested he says Donald Trump received bad advice yet again. James is a two-time loser. And that was his response to it. We shall see who prevails here. But the thought I had is, you look at this now. Look at Florida, Trump early in the process. Who did he endorse? Byron Donalds. In Michigan now, who has he endorsed? John James. What are the similarities that both men have? Anybody know off the top of their head? Well, I'll tell you. Carlos is shaking his head. No. They're two black dudes. Byron Donalds, who was the front runner in the Florida race to succeed Princess Diana's favorite governor, Ron DeSantis. She loves him so much. I don't know what Diana's going to do after Ron DeSantis can't be governor anymore, because she just so adores him. And so you have Byron Donalds, who, by the way, we've had on the show. I saw Byron a few weeks ago. Great candidate. And I'm going to let you know a little secret. I told Byron about 5 years ago, I said, Byron, you're going to be governor. Anyway, whatever. So you got Byron Donalds in Florida, and you have Michigan. Both of these are important states. These are extremely important endorsements. And yet, look who Donald Trump has endorsed. Okay, when we get back, we got to cover a lot that the Supreme Court did and other things.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Man, I'm being attacked, boy. I just got a text suggesting that Mitch McConnell is my favorite senator. And I don't know how to even respond to that. That's just such a nasty thing to say to somebody. Supreme Court case, ladies and gentlemen, I have to admit, I have a problem with this. The Supreme Court has ruled today against the Rastafari, who attempted to sue prison officials who held him down and cut his dreadlocks off. They said he can't proceed with his case. And that decision will make it harder for believers of other faiths, apparently, according to CNN's story, to enforce federal religious protections while they're in prison. It was a 6-3 decision. Gorsuch. So the conservatives lined up against this one, and I'm shaking my head because I didn't understand it. And it seems to be, the more I read it, that it's a technicality. There are two different versions of the law, and so the court ruled that Damon Landor could not sue state officials over his treatment because local officials were not aware of the details of a federal law that protects religion. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? The Landor's case rested on the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Person Act passed by Congress. Congress also passed another law that deals with religious accommodations more widely in response to a landmark but controversial 1990 precedent from the court. And this is the explanation for all of this. The state of Louisiana, which apparently must still think it's a slave state, when they cut off this man's hair, countered that the Congress, this Religious Land Use Institutionalized Persons Act is effectively a spending contract between state officials and the federal government, which provides funding for state prisons. The individuals who were involved in shaving the man's head were not parties to that contract, so they can't be held personally liable for shaving off his head. Now, these guards there, he had taken the Nazarite vow which means they're not going to shave your hair. It's part of the Rastafarian religion. And so they handcuffed him to a chair. He had dreads growing to his knees that he had taken him 20 years to grow. He handed the guards a judicial opinion demonstrating that they were required to allow the dreadlocks for religious purposes, but they just decided they were going to just shave off his dreadlocks anyway. They shaved them off and threw them in the garbage. It's despicable what these people did. And the court has now said that he has no recourse. They lamented the fact. The Fifth Circuit said it emphatically condemned the treatment, but an appeals court judgment ruled against him. Rachel Lasser, the president and CEO of Americans United for Separation of Church and State. Once again, we see a court that will bend over backward for the religious freedom of Christians, but allows the government to trample the religious freedoms of non-Christians. I don't believe that about the court, but I also I don't understand this ruling. I don't get it. We'll be back. James Golden, Snerdley, fastest hour in American media continues.
The Rush Hour with James Golden, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Rush Hour with James Golden, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We had vandalism. No, vandals. You know, we have I think 290, 300-foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing. In addition to that, we put brand new, beautiful grass all around. They put these massive letters on the grass.
Yeah, vandals. Now, the mainstream press said it's not true. And by the way, North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis is in the news saying that Jeanine Pirro, the Attorney General, ought to be embarrassed that she's prosecuting it. He's pretty much blaming Jeanine Pirro. What does he say? I have the story somewhere. That she shouldn't be prosecuting it. That it's ridiculous that she's prosecuting these cases of vandalism. I cannot wait until Tom Tillis. I don't wish harm on anybody, and I don't wish harm on him, and that's not what I'm saying, but I cannot wait till his term is over and he's no longer in the United States Senate. This guy is just... Ugh. James Golden, Bo Snerdley, with you here, fastest hour in American media. By the way, Carlos, you'll be glad to know that your tax dollars are going to be put to good use. You're a New York taxpayer. So you're going to be paying for more Whole Care. Whole Care. Hochul's Whole Care. I'm sure you know, you don't know what I'm referring to, do you? He's shaking his head with a very pained expression on his face, my friends, as if... Okay, let me explain. TJ, I'm sure you don't know what I'm talking about either, right? Kathy Hochul's Whole Care? No, haven't heard of Kathy Hochul's Whole Care program. All right, here it is. The Kathy Hochul administration is going to spend an additional $1.5 million providing health care for prostitutes. What do you mean, what? I'm telling you what. This is what it is. The New York State Department of Health, Kathy Hochul's office in particular, the Community Health Project and Evergreen Health are all involved. The Community Health Project owns this thing called the Callan Lord Community Health Center in Brooklyn, which has, quote-unquote, pioneered healthcare equity in the spirit of resistance, with deep commitments to fighting stigma and health disparities. The New York State Department of Public Health agents who granted them $1 million to cover prostitutes, primary, behavioral, dental, and sexual health services in July 2023. The program expired last year, but now Hochul has decided that she's going to give them more money, so it's Hocare. Hochul's Hocare. So that the prostitutes of New York make sure, some of the prostitutes anyway in Brooklyn prostitutes, can make sure, especially, I guess, the dental, because, yes.
Why is nobody on the primaries talking about that, about more money going to healthcare? Like, nobody ran on that. No ads that I saw ran on that.
You mean you don't know why no one's talking about Kathy Hochul's Hocare thing? It's New York, man. It's New York, man. Come on, man. You thought Ho was short for Hochul. No, it's Hocare. It's Kathy Hochul's Hocare.
It would make more sense.
Yeah. So Hochul Care doesn't sound right. Exactly right. So it's Hocare. Hocare. Make sure that that the prostitutes have, especially the dental, because it's hard. Let me just not even explore that any further. Okay, Supreme Court, another decision, sides with the Trump administration on immigrant case with green holders. So they can pretty much, and this one dealt with an immigrant who went on a short trip to China, came back. He had been accused of a counterfeiting crime, and they put him on immigration parole. He said that the officer that they did this overstepped their authority and wrongly allowed the Department of Homeland Security to begin deportation proceedings. Court ruled with the administration. They also, by the way, sided with Cisco, the big tech company, over Falun Gong, over Chinese surveillance. The plaintiff said that the tech company Cisco had helped build a surveillance system that led to their prosecution, and they should be held liable. The majority said, yeah, too much. Nope, not going there. Big decision on this one. And this case bothers me almost as much as the Kelo case, but not quite yet, because it still could come back to the court. It's about the Pung, P-U-N-G, the Pung family out in Michigan. Isabella County foreclosed on their nearly $200,000 home over a disputed tax bill that ballooned to $2,242. Then they seized the home, sold it, and kept all the equity in the home. And the equity, they pretty much robbed the equity of this couple. In a 9-0 decision, the court sided with Isabella County, rejecting the family's claim that local governments must pay homeowners the full fair market value of a property they seized and sold in tax foreclosures, rather than the lower price they obtained at a public auction. They auctioned off the house, somebody got it, and then flipped the house, and they wanted all the equity. So, but the case is going back to a lower circuit, so we'll see where this ends up. Market value, they think, is with Pacific Legal Foundation, represented the Pungs and said they were disappointed by the court ruling, but eager to keep fighting the case in the lower courts. And that's what's going to happen. It's going back to the lower courts. In some cases, the fair market value is demanded by the constitutions under the takings law. Apparently, Justices Thomas and Gorsuch agreed on that, but 9-0, it's going back to the lower courts. Let's see what we have now. I'm saying yes, Windows. Let's see what we have here and there. Okay. And she's talking vandals, yes, at the fountain. Arrest them all. Okay. By the way, FCC taking comments on The View, whether The View Media Research Center, good for them. Sends in over 2,000 pieces of evidence showing The View's bias. Love that. A lot of fraud stuff in the news. Also, Kamala Harris. Now, this may surprise you, but I understand most of her comment. Not all of it. She loses me toward the end. But in the beginning, everything that they say about her word salad, her latest word salad, in the beginning, I understand the beginning of her word salad and quite frankly agree with some of the sentiments that she's trying to articulate. Cut 14. The woman who would be president, Miss Kamala Harris.
We each have light inside of us. And we need to know that that is what inspires our hope as much as anything external to ourselves.
Agreed.
And when we feel that and not allow an election or an individual to dampen that light.
Agreed.
And instead let that light kind of carry us in particular through moments of darkness, that we not only act on that hope, but we inspire that hope in each other. It is so important that we not only have hope, but that we understand that that should be a verb, which means that hope has to go hand in hand with action.
Well, Carlos, why are you looking like that? Boy, Carlos has got expressions today. I cannot. If I could show.
Sometimes I'm like, I've told you before, like she needs to put the Sauvignon Blanc down, you know?
What is Grant shouting about? I've heard from America's Small Caffeinated Mom that Grant is out there shouting. What is Grant shouting about? Look, you say that Kamala Harris needs to put what did you say she needs to?
The Sauvignon Blanc. It's a type of white wine.
She needs to put it down. Did you not understand the first part of what she said?
She's talking about hypothetical things, but like in a hypothetical scenario, then she lost me. Yeah, like in the second part. And like, why does hope need to be a verb? Like, where are we going with that?
Okay, and hope needs to be a verb, and what she's trying to say is that hope, instead of just being a feeling, it needs to become actionable. We need to do things with our lives to make sure that hope isn't some far-off, distant dream. We need to put action behind it so that the things we hope for, the things we strive for, can turn into reality. We need to make the idea of hope a verb, a doing of things that make good things happen.
Sounds like another person doesn't want to do the work.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, let's get to the streets and hope together, you know? George Lucas taught us about hope like years ago, so like I'm not gonna listen to Kamala Harris.
I'm sorry. How did George Lucas?
Through the first trilogy, we learned all we need to know about hope, and like this is what hope like describes.
Wait, through the first Star Wars trilogy, we learned all we need to learn about hope.
Yep. I don't know what that woman is trying to tell us.
Okay. Cut 16, Carlos. In Portland, and I know which Portland it is, even though she doesn't want to say. This woman's walking through the parking lot. She looks to be about a 40-ish woman. She's got kind of a reddish-looking hair, some shade of red. And she's walking, and apparently she has ditched a graduation service for one of her kids. And so she wants to explain to you why she's walking in a parking lot, cut number 16, and has ditched her kid's graduation. Let's hear from her.
I'm at a middle school graduation, Portland. I'm not even going to mention which one. And instead of being inside, I am outside doing a lap around the parking lot, making sure that there are no ice vehicles around. Because if you think about the people who are inside taking risks to see their children graduate 8th grade, and they're scared to be in there, and the people who didn't even come. So I'm doing my best to make sure that people are safe.
I'm not here. I'm in Portland. I'm not going to say which one. It could be Portland, Oregon, or it could be Portland, Maine. She was in Portland, Maine. You know why I know she was in Portland, Maine? Because of the trees. You saw the smaller deciduous trees that are so familiar to the East Coast. If you go to the Pacific Northwest, the trees are more evergreens in the parking lots like that, and you don't see the same variety of trees that you see it's clear, anybody looking at this thing, that she's on the East Coast of America, not in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in Portland. I don't want to say which one. And I ditched my kid's graduation so I could walk around the parking lot and to make sure that there's no ice here. Because the people inside, I'm virtue signaling. Because even if I saw ice, what can I do? Even if they were here, what am I going to do? Scream? Cry? Warn the people inside? There's ice people out here. It's idiotic. But this is what the left does.
I don't think she likes her kids.
Carlos, you got all the lines today. She doesn't like her kids. That's why she ditched. Oh man. Carlos has got the lines today, folks.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The clip of the day. You want to hear it. It's the clip of the day.
And ladies and gentlemen, our clip of the day comes from two well-known, how shall we call it, liberal pundits. One, a background in the Washington Post. The other started off on this weird little website that used to, internet website, and then later on kept rising and rising until he was on Meet the Depressed, until they got him off. And they are Chris Cizilla and Chuck Todd, as Rush used to call him, Chuck Todd. And I think you can imagine what the F stands for.
Obama radicalized the far right. It was the same thing, right? The far right viewed Obama as some left-winger, and Obama was basically a degree more liberal than Bill Clinton. You know,
temperamentally a moderate Obama.
Yeah,
probably liberal on policy, but temperamentally a moderate.
What policy was he that liberal on, Chris? It's one of the biggest.
It was because he was black.
Thank you. The only reason people think he was liberal is because he's black. Like, it's this. He governed more closely to George W. Bush than Donald Trump.
So you got these two white guys that are experts on the way people think about Obama. The only reason they think he's liberal because he was black. What was Obama's central policy initiative during the 2 terms? Obamacare. Totally liberal. You could go to his DOJ actions. What he did with the schools, horribly liberal. What he did to the military. It wasn't because he was black. It was because he was liberal. That people thought he was liberal, and he is. Oh, we got to go. 1965, on this day, The Miracles release The Tracks of My Tears. It went up to number 2 and on the Billboard R&B charts, but everybody knows the song. It should have been a number 1 song. We got to go. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your families, and your loved ones. Love and gratitude to my friends for you being here with me, allowing me to be with you. I do need you. God willing, we're back tomorrow. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?